My message today is just about being nice to people and what to do when people are not nice to you. Just a couple suggestions. I suggest you don't act the same way, and you definitely don't push that energy back out on other people that are unsuspecting, don't deserve it. Not that anybody does. I had a rough little road beginning of winter. I got injured by a doctor that I went to see about said injury, who wouldn't return a call about helping me, understand how to heal. Ended up injured for a solid 2 months. All of these other things happened during that period of time that I was injured. People acted very poorly. That's a nice way to me. They were really mean to me. They were really mean to me. It was not cool. It was uncalled for. And I didn't return that type of energy once. If I did, something okay came out wrong, I recognized it and I apologize. I'm glad that I acted that way. Don't react, because what does it do? You tend to regret it, how you act in the heat of the moment. When you act angrily, these lower frequency emotions coming out tend to not feel good afterward. It's embarrassing. Maybe you want to apologize, but you don't want to deal with it. It's embarrassing owning up to it. It's hard. One trick is, if you do make yourself apologize and own up to it, then you don't get out of it so easy. Is just like, well, I yelled at him because I was upset about something else, and then I just, okay, shouldn't do that, and then you just let yourself off the hook. No, go face it, go face them, own up to it, apologize. Next time, help pull a little friction toward that action, because oh gee, I want to let him have it. I'm so frustrated, it's just coming out. You say, wait, develop that pause, some self-control where you can think. And then this is all coming into state work stuff, right? It's at the bottom. Managing state. I'm hesitant to say everything because I try to not talk in extremes like that, but it is a lot of things. The state we're in, the mindset, our nervous system, tone, if we're riled up, how we're thinking, what our focus is at the root of so much. It's at the root of so much. Okay, what happened? What happened? Everybody's asking, what happened? What happened? All right, I don't make a big deal out of it. Backwards orders. So I was out of state for the doctor's trip. I'm not even counting that. That was not cool. I was out of state at the doctor's, get injured. It was the second day in an Airbnb's on a 2-week trip. Second day. Was injured the whole time, right? 2 months. So the whole second Airbnb, I was injured. Undisclosed construction, right out the window. I wake up to a jackhammer the first morning. Crazy, they're dumping in the road, like the edges up to the property. I bring it up because I finally recognize, I look it up. Oh, geez, this is crazy. Look up okay, is there some kind of refund? Or I don't know how I find that, but I go, oh yeah, makes sense that like undisclosed construction, that's a serious nuisance, warrants like a partial refund. I brought it up with the host, who was, very off-putting, take it up with Airbnb, which I did. They recognized the issue, refunded the money. Which some point during this conversation, she's arguing about just them being totally calm and respectful. I'm sure you can recognize by my demeanor explaining this stuff. Like, same thing. I get a little riled up. I pause. I take a minute. I calm myself down. State stuff. So she flips on me. The first time I ever used this word, gaslights me. I literally looked up the definition of gaslighting to see if that's what it was. And yeah, she was gaslighting me. It was all about construction. And she's bringing up all these different points, talking about like me being injured, throwing that in my face. Like, she doesn't even know what's going on with me. And like just this barrage of gaslighting. So I pointed out, I explained that like, look, it's your responsibility to know what's going on at your property. It's your responsibility to know what's going on at your property. It's not like my fault that that there's all this construction that's not disclosed. It's all good. It's just like, you think you just work with me on the thing. Gaslights me anyways. Airbnb rewards the thing. She doesn't talk to me she just ignores my response, and then writes a terrible review, which I couldn't deal with the stress. Like while I looked over it a little bit. I was like, this is just, it's not cool. She's making things up. I knew stuff wasn't accurate in what she was saying. Finally, like 2 weeks later, I put a review removal request into Airbnb, who denied it. I finally called them today. It's like, I was just gonna write a response and then that was taken down. I guess it has been so long. It's like, so I call, the person reading through it gets it, and I finally read through it. It was way worse than I thought. I'm so glad that I took space. See, prioritize. This is another thing, prioritizing what's important. My health was more important than some Airbnb thing. It's just, period. I was getting elevated. It was, aggravating injury, and I need to give myself space to heal and then deal with it. And I come back to it. You know what? I called. I'm not all angry on the phone. I just calmly explain the situation. The person gets it. They're like, yeah, that's pretty crazy that they would do that. So I got a second review removal. So I read, and they're like, this is the last one. So I read the thing and actually addressed all the points. I brought up 3 points the first time. This time, I don't know, 7 points. It was just full of, it's a very retaliatory review. Retaliatory, what a great word I picked up from this whole thing. I don't know what that person's dealing with, but she didn't need to treat me like that. She didn't need to follow up Airbnb correcting her of yeah, this is an issue, with then just letting me have, look at this is 2 months later, I'm finally getting to this thing. It's been so stressful. I finally got to it today, but it's created such a challenge in my life, which is what I took it for, right? Instead of getting all upset about it, I know that I'm learning and growing by addressing this in a calm way and not losing my priority in my life and not losing my head about it and overreacting and acting out and treating someone else poorly, right? It's all growth for me. Recognize what's in my control, right? What is in my control is to contest the review, point it out, talk to Airbnb, trust that, things are good, people are reasonable, this business cares about its customers, and, it's clearly an issue. And so instead of getting all elevated, oh, I can't believe she said this and that, or whatever, right? Just recognize hey, I'm not gonna let it slide. Just like I didn't let it slide that she gaslit me. But I'm not gonna overreact and whatever. I'm just gonna hold space for hey, it's not okay for you to talk to me like that. Hey, this review is totally inappropriate. It's not okay. I'm bringing it to your attention. Please recognize this and address it. Right? So there's so much maturity that I did not have in the past. This took a lot of work. A quick update, Airbnb actually did remove the review when I put in the second request. No reason to get worked up. It's not that big of a deal. Regulating nervous system, noticing when my nervous system gets excitable, and seeing what's going on. Is there an actual threat in my environment? No, everything's fine. I'm just managing something that's slightly unpleasant. Nothing to get worked up about. A little annoyed, maybe a little annoying, a little peeved. That's one issue. Second issue, guy with a dog who apparently his dog bites. The dog's on a 15-foot leash, retractable leash all the way out, he can't get it in. He was struggling with it, whatever. I go to the side of the sidewalk and then, he just keeps walking. The dog runs right up to me, bites me on my hand. They just keep moving right along. Rips my glove off. I mean, they're faint now, but I got these cool scars. I got these scars here and this little puncture wound right on the whatever. Dog bites me, so I'm just blown away that this just happened, right? That the dog had so much space. If he's gonna bite, the guy just didn't even care and just walked up to me and past me and just was like, whatever. So I go, but there's a bunch of kids in the neighborhood and stuff, right? It's just not okay. So I go holler at the guy, being totally cool, just being like, yo, like, dude, you can't just have your dog walking up to people and biting them. Like, this isn't okay. There's kids around here and stuff. Instead of even recognizing it, the guy is like, it's what, December maybe at this point? He's like, rinse it in the sprinkler. You know, I'm wearing a sarong. It's been helpful with I had a hypertonic pelvic floor, lots of stress and stuff, you know, dealing with it in physical therapy and stuff. I wear a sarong a lot of the time. It's just been comfortable. And so the guy's like, starts calling me a girl, and I've got these sweet, what are they? I mean, they gotta be like fuchsia or something. I don't know. Nikes on. And he starts calling me a girl. He's like, he thought it was your sister. You're like a girl, and it's like my shoes, and it's like I'm wearing a dress because I'm wearing a sarong. All this like insulting whatever.
You're wearing a dress, dude.
Like, where is this coming from? I just got bit by your dog and I'm being very cool, right? Totally outlandish, uncalled for, and not even just recognizing, hey, yeah, like I'm sorry or just anything, right? So, I mean, what do I do about that? I mean, I don't know. I didn't yell. It was not going to solve anything. I didn't have my phone on me, which is a good lesson. Keep your phone on when you walk. I was thinking it's fine, but you know, stuff like that happens. What is up? What is up with that? You know, maybe this person is dealing with something. Like I don't understand. I don't know. However, both of these things coming back to like what's in my control. Look out. Make sure it's okay. Nothing gets infected. Take care of it. Be cautious. I saw the guy again multiple times. I turn around. I'm staying away from that dude. And I got a pepper spray thing in my pocket now and my phone, right? And so, geez, looks like I need to step up my personal security a little bit. You know, I'm not going to do anything serious. However, at least I got a line of defense for something like this. I'm walking around this guy in the neighborhood who apparently is going to be aggressive with me about his dog biting me, who he also like threatened, like he's like coming at me, like it's just hostile and aggressive, right? Don't put that energy on other people, right? Because the other people, pushing that onto other people, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do humanity any good. The other thing was just a relationship I have that has been tense, and I was injured and just trying to get up to my room to ice and stuff, and their state again, right, all elevated and tense. Instead of recognizing like this isn't the time or the way to bring this up, instead of, you know, communicating about, hey, they're upset about stuff that happened in the past that I've apologized for, and I've worked really hard to make adjustments to not act the way that I had in the past. They're yelling at me, taking whatever their emotional thing is out on me. So they're just screaming at me. I could take so many lines of like, okay, like, you know, this is just enough. Stop, like, you can't just keep sitting here screaming in my face. You know, I was freaked out, struggling physically. I went for another walk, and you know, my body was already tired. But what am I gonna do? You know, that's what I learned. It's like I do my best. There's some like karma aspects going on in this, I'm sure, where it's like, you know, I was stressed and angry. So many negative emotions that were not good for me, not good for people around me, not good for just humanity, right? How it trickles out to other people. And there's a lot of times we get this lagging effect in life, right? Habits are a really clear example of this. James Clear says something, it's like the results we get in life are a lagging measure of our habits. You go exercise at the gym one day, your body isn't transformed. You know, you eat a hamburger instead of a salad. You know, your body doesn't really look different at the end of the day. But when you stack these results up over time, big changes occur. You can also look at it from like a, you know, Wayne Dyer, Joe Dispenza thing of like the universe is a mirror and reflects who we are. And I was a struggling, confused, hurt, angry person for a long time. And I'm overcoming the struggles. I'm fairly annoyed. At worst is more, at least where I'm hoping to be, and less confused. You know what I mean? Not that those things are completely eradicated yet, but I have come a long way and I'm working on changing a lot of these things. And Dispenza thing is like the universe testing me to, am I serious about these changes? Well, yeah. I mean, apparently I am. Apparently I am. If you're going to throw all that at me, and I'm going to keep my composure and I'm going to keep moving forward. Focus on what's in your control. Your state is in your control. No, it might feel like it's not, especially at the beginning, but it is, and it changes so much. Not only what you want to do, what you see, how you interpret things, your perspective on things, options you see. It also, it's like just broadly what part of your nervous system you're in, like what parts of your brain are activated and stuff. And if you're not recognizing when you're getting into sympathetic, like fight, flight, or freeze nervous system, if you're not noticing that and then acting from that, and thinking from that, and strategizing from that, it's so limiting on what you see that you can do and what you think is going on. Recognizing that, managing state first, which is a large topic in itself, what to do, how to do it. Bringing some awareness to it and just paying attention is a good first, is a good place to start. Noticing that when you do get in that state, this is something I like a lot. When you do get in that state and you think things aren't ever going to change from that, recognizing when you are in a different state later, and then taking like a mental, emotional snapshot of being better and the fact that you did transition, maybe this is like left on screen, from elevated, thinking, oh, this is it. I'm so finished with this, whatever, real intense emotional stuff, and then coming to a different place later where you're calm, open, feel good about things, and seeing that transition that you got there. So then when you ever notice, oh, in that elevated all or nothing kind of mindset, you can refer to, hey, I have proof that this is going to change. It doesn't matter how much it feels like it's not, it's going to change. And you can kind of leverage that to buy into things being different, or just not acting from that place, right? And doing something, taking a break, taking a walk, taking a breath, getting into gratitude, remembering something that matters, that like whatever it is, this relationship is worth more than my emotional state. My self-respect is worth more than reacting to this emotional state right now. It's really good to practice in less intense thing. Oh yeah, less intense situations where, I've been doing this stuff for a long time, but I've been in intense situations the whole time. It's been a real challenge to build up a skill set being in so over my head at the time, where ideally, you can practice this with supportive people who you can even explain it to. That'd be ideal. Just a good friend group, church support group, just anywhere that there's reasonably healthy, rational people that care about you and can understand and support. And if things are really intense, I've learned this lesson the hard way. Get space. There's no need to get into this stuff and engage with all that tension. Be nice to people. You never know what people are going through. You never know what led to something. And if you give people the benefit of the doubt, there's room to work with them. I gave the biting dog guy benefit of the doubt. It's not within my control and how any of these people acted, but I'm glad and I'm proud about how I acted. And I didn't push that onto other people. And I gave all these people opportunities. I communicated with the host that she gaslit me, not in an aggressive, argumentative way, just like, look at how you're acting right now. Like, this is not appropriate at all. That's what I did. She didn't take the opportunity to grow and step into that space. I created a space for her to step into that was better. Same with the guy with the dog. I didn't come, you're whatever, this and that, like a bunch of stuff. I had a lot more reasonable reasons to be saying mean things to this guy than he had to be saying to me. I gave him space to just own up to it. I didn't make it hard, right? I didn't make it harder than it needed to be to just step in. And with the relationship thing, that's tough. Maybe karmically, I had a little of that coming. It sucks. I didn't deserve it, but I did a lot of things that were unreasonable. I made space in the relationship and I learned a lot from it, and it won't get to that point ever in the future. Not in that relationship and not in any others. So, learn from it. And, I didn't make that harder either, right? I said, I just, please stop it. Like, please stop. This is not the time. I'm just trying to go ice. That's what I said. I didn't make it worse. I didn't escalate it. I didn't escalate it. I didn't contribute to it being bad. Live and adjust and adapt and keep moving, right? And deal with the emotional pain and damage that I took going through these really challenging events. They hurt me really bad, but I grew a lot, and it was really good to see that the work I've been doing the last few years is actually paying off in such a huge way. So I hope there's something to get from this, and if you're still here, good for you. I think you've got to be a good person to be interested in this. If you like what you see, you can like and subscribe and follow me for more. Do it! Okay, in all seriousness, if you're interested in improving your life, watching me improve my life and where this goes from here, and seeing a lot of really good solutions for things in life, maybe you could use some of the same solutions that I've used, come to need and use and learn about and create myself, as well as pick up from other people that I can pass along. Come along for the ride. You got the buttons right down there, and be good. Be the person that you want to be. What do I say? You deserve to be the person that you want to be. And be nice to people. Be the person that you care to be, regardless of how people are acting and people treat you. That's not in your control. What is in your control is how you act, how you take care of yourself, how you act. Choose wisely. Choose things that you're going to look back on and be proud about. The decisions you made, the choices you made. Be proud of the path you took.